All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. This the brother Lawyer, all right? And this is an article from RT. I seen something on YouTube that referred to this article, and I decided to go ahead and look it up. And I noticed that America is basically making their enemies, not making their enemies, making their allies hate them. All right. Now, Russia and India is an ally to America. All right. India is also an ally to Russia. All right. And Turkey was an ally to America. They are both in the NATO. All right. And Turkey had bought, I think, the S-300 or S-400 air defense system. All right. Well, India did the same thing because America doesn't have, America has an air defense system, but it's not as good as Russia's air defense system. And the reason why America doesn't have a good air defense system, because ultimately Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai, Yahweh's true name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai is the real name of so-called Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ and God are Greek terms. And we know that Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, who are two black men in the scriptures, they're Hebrew. All right. So, but not just the blacks are Hebrews, okay? Not just the so-called Negroes. You got Latinos, Native and Seminole Indian descent, Hispanics, and you're going to have Israelites that's going to look like the other nations. All right. So India has purchased the S-400 system. All right. And ultimately, what I was going to say, I lost my train of thought. The Lord is not going to put it in the minds of the American scientists or engineers to make a good defense system, because it's their time to go down. Babylon has to fall. All right. The new Babylon, the mystery Babylon, Babylon the Great. All right. The woman that sits on the woman that sits on the wears the scarlet, what the Revelations 18. I forgot how to break it down. But the woman that sits upon the beast is the NATO and EU. All right. And the woman that sits on the beast is America. All right. So ultimately, the Lord is going to have it to where all of America's allies and her enemies are going to shoot missiles upon her. All right. And that's how Babylon is going to fall. So I'm going to get a few quick scriptures. This is Jeremiah 50. Now, we all know that the prophet Jeremiah was in the Babylonian captivity. Ancient Babylon, like I went into yesterday, the ancient Babylon is in Iraq. Today, the name is Iraq. That's Mesopotamia and so on and so forth. All right. So he's seen what would happen to the new Babylon. All right. So it says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? Now, we know that ancient Babylon was not the hammer of the whole earth. Slaki. Now, what do you do with a hammer? You beat nails in. Well, that's what America do to other countries and also to her allies. America would threaten her allies if they do this wrong, or, even with other countries. You've seen Iraq, Afghanistan, the conquest of Central and South America, and look what just happened with Iran. America killed an Iranian top general. So that's how we know that America is the hammer of the whole earth. And also, too, they put the Israelites in captivity and scattered them around the world. So that's how we know America is the hammer of the whole earth. So how is the hammer How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? All right. And that's what's going to happen. This rulership, it has to go. It's time, and no flesh will be saved if this doesn't happen. All right. Now this is Isaiah 14th chapter, and I'm going to jump around. All right. I'm going to go from one scripture to the next scripture. All right. So this is talking about us. In Isaiah the 14th chapter, at the beginning, is going into the salvation of you Hebrew Israelites. All right. And what's going to happen with the kingdom of heaven. Salakia is going to go into the kingdom, our kingdom, how it's going to be. All right. So I'm going to start off with Isaiah 14:4. All right. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. So this golden city will represent America. All right. This is the country that all nations want to go to, like I got some Egyptian friends at work, and they was like, when we was over in Egypt, they kept hearing about this money on the ground. You can just walk on the streets and pick up money, all that, and how you can do this over here, it's not as hard, basically they can do whatever they want. So so America is like unto a golden city, and it says, how hath the oppressor ceased? Who is the oppressor? It's Esau, the so-called white man, and other nations that put us in captivity too. But we know that due to the book of Genesis, we know that it's a war going on between Jacob and Esau still today. So today, the oppressor, how had the oppressor ceased? The oppressor, so-called white man. All right, and the golden city ceased. So Jeremiah is saying, how has the oppressor in that golden city, how has it ceased? Like, wow. America done been in power not for very long, but 500 years, it takes time, you can go anywhere around the world and be like, hey, who's the top superpower in the world? And they're going to say either, not, I wouldn't say Russia. They would say that now maybe, but, like a couple of years ago, even still today, it's America. Everybody wants to come to America still. All right. The Lord had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. All right. And that's what's going to happen. The Lord's going to break the staff. When you have a staff, it symbolizes power. So the Lord's going to break the power of the wicked. All right. He's going to take down this wicked society and wicked kingdom. And our laws, or his laws, the laws of the Holy Scriptures, are going to be established on the earth. All right. It will be done as in heaven, I'm getting it wrong, but his will be done as in heaven as on earth. All right. Meaning the kingdom. In our kingdom, the nations are going to have to follow every single last law. All laws are not subject to death and so forth. You can be beaten, but we're going to have all the laws written in our inward parts, like how it says in the book of Jeremiah. The Lord is going to write his laws in our mind. All right. And your heart, that's what your mind really is. Your heart is just pumps blood. It's a muscle. All right. But your mind, that's where your soul, that's where your heart is. All right. He smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindered. So the so-called white man, all right, in his kingdom, America, rules the nations in anger. All right. And that's what you see that Esau is trying to do with India. They're going to slap sanctions on them. In that RT article, that's what it said. They're going to slap sanctions on them, which sanctions are an act of war, and it hurts their economy. All right. So that's them having that hammer. That's what symbolizes that hammer as well. You know, um, and then it's persecuted, none hindered. Now, when this kingdom goes down, when the NATO, EU, and America goes down, this how it's gonna be. The whole earth is at rest and it's quiet. They break forth into singing. So it's gonna go into the trees, the earth, even the people are gonna be happy when their society and this rulership goes down. All right. I'm going to skip down, and in the ninth verse is gonna go talking about the other nations. All right. Uh, all the chief ones of the earth, yes, going into the other nations. Now, I'm going to go down to verse 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, the other nations are going to say unto America or unto the Edomites, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? So this is how the other nations are looking at America. All right. That's why when you read this article, Russia starts production of S-400 missile defense systems for India, all commitments being fulfilled despite U.S. pressure. America, Babylon the Great has become weak, and India and all these other nations, damn, it went down too fast. Salakia. So it says right here, a Center State Department official told reporters last month that should New Delhi go through with the purchases, there's a risk of applications of sanctions. See, under the Countering America's Adversaries Through Sanctions Action, CAA TSA legislation of the United States has brandished largely against its own allies. See, in an attempt to deter arms deals with Russia, including NATO member Turkey. See, despite the pressure from abroad, India has remained adamant that it be allowed to pursue its military purchases independently. All right. So America has become weak. Verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Lucifer just means light bearer. It doesn't really mean Satan, but Lucifer represents the so-called white man, son of the morning. How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? So America, this society, the white man's kingdom, weakened the nations. All right. So so this is the question that Isaiah is asking, like, damn, how art thou cut down? Like, how are you stopped? And you the one that weakened the nations. You ruled over the nations. Oh man, I want to read. You know what? For thou hast said in thy heart and thy mind, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation, talking about Israelites, because the so-called white man, the Edomites, did rule over the Israelites and take us down in the sides of the north. North what? North America. All right, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I'll be like the Most High, and that's what he tried to do with his when he tried to go to the moon. Esau didn't make it to the moon. All right, but he attempted to go up into heaven, and he had that video of him so-called going on to the moon or whatever, and also too he got that space program. And he got that space program because that he know that Yahweh and the angels are going to come back, and he wants to fight against the Lord. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. And that's what's going to happen. The Lord's going to bring him down. All right. Okay, now they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made? See, is this the man, Lucifer? How thou fallen, O Lucifer? All right. Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? How did he shake kingdoms? going in, overtaking. Look how he shook Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Iraq. You know, once again, Central and South America. When he went into Panama, Guatemala, you know, look what he did to the so-called Mexicans. He stole North America. We can keep going on through history, just naming. All right, that made the world a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof. That opened not the house of the prisoners. And America has is the house of prisoners. For one, they're the house of the slaves too. All right, this is the house. This is the slave. Well, this is the prison. America is the prison for the Israelites. All right. So like I'm going to go down to verse 21. I'm going to try to close this out. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. See, so the Lord's talking through Isaiah, and he said, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquities of their fathers. So ultimately, us Hebrew Israelites had to pay for what our fathers did, which you are your forefather. You come back every third or fourth, or, you come out through different generations. Like say your father had 10 children, down that line somewhere, you're going to come right back out of that same lineage, that same line, So ultimately, you so-called white people, your children are going to be slaughtered, all right, for the iniquities of their father, all right? They have to pay. Y'all not going to have this same rulership in the next lifetime, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. All right. So, lucky about that. So yeah, after this rulership, that's why in the Apocrypha it stated that Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it, because Esau is you're not gonna like your kingdom is not gonna be remembered. The elect, the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, will remember, yeah. But you won't have no more so-called Germany, Britain, France, America, Spain. It won't be, no, we're gonna name the land after us. All right. Our faces are gonna fill the world with cities, all right? And the other nations are too. The Arabs, so-called Arabs, Japanese, Chinese, the Hawaiians, all of them are going to have their land, but it's not going to be no more you Edomites, all right? That's said in the book of Obadiah, all right? So with that, I believe that was it. I'm going to close this out and say all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, the men and women and children that believe on Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And the only thing I'm going to say is that, if you subscribe to my channel, I don't know what you think this is, but this is not no laughing matter. It's okay to joke, but this is serious, and it's time that you start getting serious, whether you're going to be about this or you're not. All right, because the Lord hate lukewarm people. Shalom.